This is my presentation paper for MI211, and the fundamental difference between Islam and Christianity is found in love. Plain and simply, Allah just does not love unbelievers, but God does. God said, for example, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. And again in Romans, he says, but God commands his love toward us that we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. However, in Islam, it's completely different. For example, it even says in the Quran that Allah said, I made hell for those who would not believe. Because of this, you can see a fundamental difference between the two religions. In Islam, it's commanded by Allah that you kill unbelievers, that you fight them wherever you can. And you can see this throughout the life of Muhammad. He demonstrated this personally with his many wars against any who would dare, question his faith in Allah. While in Christianity, it's completely the opposite. In Christianity, we're commanded to display the love that God displays to the world. For example, he gave his only son, as Leon Morris so eloquently stated, his love is not a vaguely sentimental thing, but a love that costs. God gave what was most dear to him, that is himself. And all throughout the Bible you can see this. God considers himself to be the biggest inheritance that he can give, and so in the future, in Revelation even, the new heaven and the new earth will be us living with him, and that's the best part about it. However, in Islam, this whole difference in love translates completely over to real life. You see now, especially in Israel, some of the most horrific acts being, undertaken. People being attacked with even meat cleavers in the streets. It's an absolute nightmare. There's no hope for any who would believe in Islam, because even Muhammad himself said he doesn't know whether he'd go to heaven or hell. However, in the Bible, you can go throughout history and look, and some of the most wonderful people, some of the most caring and passionate people have been Christians. And some of the greatest acts of science have been carried out by Christians too. Francis Bacon, Johann Kepler, Werner von Braun were all Christians, displaying that wonderful dominion mandate that we were given in order to try to understand God by understanding his creation. William Wilberforce and Abraham Lincoln, both major players in stopping slavery, were both Christians. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who through his actions Jim Crow ended, he was a reverend. So you see the biggest difference being the difference in love between God and Allah being towards unbelievers. And honestly, that is the fundamental difference between these two religions. And it's an unescapable fact that in Islam, you're just